Welcome to Conquering Any Disease Summit. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Hamilton, and we are at day 2 and we'll be discussing foods that block your healing. Get your notepads if you must. I'd like to begin by telling you a true story. Milton Ellison was a 34-year-old man who made the front page of the New York Times in 1992. In his interview, he told the New York Times that he was chained to a bed for 3 weeks. He was not chained for assault, rape, or even murder. His crime was that he had tuberculosis, and he had refused to comply with his physician's instruction to take his prescribed medication. As a result, he was jailed, not in a cell, but to a bed where his wrists and ankles were shackled, and he was given medication under the observation of not doctors but the sheriff's deputies who took him to the hospital in Orange County, New York. Mr. Ellison was also a schizophrenic. Was this really necessary? This story is very deep, encompassing the dark history of medical apartheid, but for today's topic, ask yourself this question. Have you chained yourself to eating unhealthy foods that could create sickness in the future? Or have you been imprisoned for so long to the foods that have now resulted in a diagnosis that requires lifelong medication for survival? While Mr. Ellison was held against his will and could not get free, you and I, on the other hand, are not. We often create circumstances in our lives that lead to bad habits, and as it becomes part of our nature, it becomes difficult and challenging to break. We're now going to look at several foods that contribute to a reduction in our state of health and block the body's immune system from functioning. Do you remember as a child being a picky eater? What was it for you? Did you go by color, taste, texture, or smell? Looking back oftentimes helps us to understand why we eat the way we do. As adults, we eventually learn that certain foods create free radicals, which in excess can speed up the progression of cancer and other diseases, hindering the immune system function. Making the decision to eat healthy foods and acquiring the taste is important, as your taste buds change based on the foods we eat most frequently. So, for some of you who dislike a particular food because of the taste, rest assured, change your thought about the food as your taste buds will change and you will consider it tasty. Now, the mind is a very powerful thing, so start by being optimistic. No food is worth ending up in the hospital, so let's make another step to give up bad foods. So to begin, let us look at bread, flour, and pastry items. Oh no, did you just raise your eyebrows or drop your shoulders? Body language transcends thoughts, so stay with me. There is evidence that eating flour-containing foods often leads to poor thyroid function, slower metabolism, and a declining immune system. If you already have a diagnosis, then flour-containing food should be already off the plate. For those with no diagnosis, bread should be safe for special occasions. Now, there are exceptions, such as sprouted and flourless bread. Yes, most bread consists of bromide, which is used to treat the flour. Now, how is this important? Bromide and iodine are almost identical and thus can occupy the same receptor site. Iodine is essential for thyroid function as fuel. If the receptor site is blocked by bromide, this results in less absorption of iodine. Sprouted bread, however, comes from seeds that have been germinated and allowed to sprout green buds when the seeds are crushed into flour. Lightly toasting your sprouted bread is delicious and satisfies your need for protein. Some conditions, however, may have restriction to even consuming sprouted bread, so consult your doctor. Oils. I have often been asked about oils for cooking. Most of you already know that hydrogenated oils are used to enhance shelf life. Margarine is made from vegetable oil that is infused with hydrogen gas, which enables it to have that solid state, but it is not butter. This helps to prevent rancidity. These oils can lead to clogged arteries and are banned in many countries. Of all oils, canola is the most toxic. Contrary to what you believe, it is not derived from corn. It is genetically modified rapeseed oil. It is inexpensive to grow and the insects do not eat it. Please note, there is no such thing as non-GMO canola oil. It acts as an insecticide. Research done with canola oil on rats show the link between heart disease and cancer. Unfortunately, it is used in so many health foods, so read your labels. Many of you by now are saying, I know that, but also know if you consume a lot of processed foods and dine out often, these are the ingredients you are more likely to consume in your meals. Now let's move on to nitrates. These are mostly found in cold processed meats like turkey sandwiches sold at the airport. These have also been linked to influencing the growth of or manifestation of cancers. They are easy for quick meals. However, the free radical damage is a slow ongoing process that you can avoid. Our children are the biggest victims, and many hormonal imbalances are as a result of these ingredients. If you consider the condition that animals are reared under, such as 1,000 birds being packed in one house and feeding them with commercial feed that contains numerous hormone disrupting toxins and antibiotics, then it finds itself on your plate. We know protein is essential, but we have many other sources of protein to explore that are healthier. So, explore more and be optimistic. Say cheese. Okay, I wasn't quite ready to take your photo. But while we are talking about food, what do you think about cheese? Yes, cheese. It's a big one, and I can just hear your thoughts out loud. So, did you know that aluminum is added to cheese made in America to make it taste creamier? Yes. Unless it's organic, you don't know. In Europe, this is banned entirely, so many Europeans love American cheese because it tastes creamier. Aluminum has been linked to Alzheimer's, autism, and is an endocrine disruptor. Did you know McDonald's requested the FDA to increase the amount of aluminum permissible by law for cheese production? Yes. Wow. So if we put flour, the dough of the flour and cheese together, like say into a pizza, we make a delicious thyroid gland blocking, clogged artery constipating meal that increases our body's toxic burden and free radical activity. Let's say that again. Oh, okay. I'll move on because we have our weaknesses. So let me move on. So, have you got milk? Did you know that in China, women never get hot flashes? Or that in African women, they seldom get osteoporosis? I wonder why. It's because they don't have milk. Have you noticed young boys with larger breasts and more babies are born lactose intolerant? Studies have shown that cultures with high calcium diets also have the highest osteoporosis rates. Milk is designed by God to bring a baby cow to weigh 500 pounds, right? The large calcium in cow's milk was not designed for human consumption. We cannot break down the molecules for consumption, and thus this causes more problems than it is worth. So in case you're saying I don't drink milk, what about its derivatives in other products? The derivatives casein. Write that down and read your labels. Casein. Okay, so let's go to nuts. Yes, nuts, nuts, nuts. Have you heard of alpha toxin? Well, it is considered a cancer-causing substance in humans and animals by both the FDA and World Health Authorities. The most common ways we are exposed to alpha toxins is by consuming both organic and natural peanut butter. As the peanut butter sits on shelves over many months, the buildup of the toxin increases. Peanuts are the only nut that grows on the ground. Try the alternative like almond butter, walnut butter. These are far more nutritious and contains no alpha toxin. Well, how about us polishing up things a bit? Yes. Did you know that polishing grains did not exist in ancient days? But thanks to technology and industrial revolution, the wealthy desired a softer and more refined grain. These refined grains were luxury items as they were polished, thus requiring more labor than their brown counterparts. So fast track to today. What's the cost of brown rice? And why is it so expensive? And it requires less labor than white rice. Well, rice bran is the answer. Rice bran is used in the supplement industry, which is growing exponentially. So think about it. White rice is now cheaper after taking out the nutrition and allowing us to have more constipation and diabetes. And then we go out and buy in the health food store and purchase fiber products and supplements to get relief. So why do we buy two products instead of one? Right? It makes us sick. And in order to reduce symptoms and thus an unending cycle, let us eat the healthier partner, which is your brown rice. All right, let's add something sweet to the mix. Are you thirsty or craving some fries? This leads us to bottled juices and white potatoes which spike our blood sugar. We eat more white potatoes and it's not surprising there are so many cases of diabetes. We view potatoes as we do sweets, cookies, and processed desserts. As for bottled juices, they are always in our refrigerator, while stored juices that have been pasteurized and processed to the point of little or no nutritional value are just no good. Plus, why drink just the juice? For most of you who make your own juice, a large number of phytochemicals dwell in the fiber, skin, seeds, rind, and stem of these fruits. Yes, you heard me right. Blend everything. You will get the nutrition God intended for you. Juicing should not be a ritual, and I recommend juicing based on specific diseases. Enough is enough. Do you want to gain weight? Well, have a diet soda. What do you think about that? So you already know soda is bad, but the manufacturers control the market as they are promoting diet soda as an alternative. This tricks your body because of the empty calories, so your body holds on to the calories and convert more to fat than you probably would want. So don't be fooled. When was your last barbecue or jerk festival? Several studies have confirmed that barbecue or grilling with vegetable oils is carcinogenic. In some traditions, this is a common activity during the holidays. The burnt edges of meats and vegetables are highly toxic, and it does not matter if you're using a gas grill. Science has confirmed the amount of carcinogen found in 600 cigarettes can be found in one barbecue steak. So bake, steam, stew, stir fry with coconut oil, but not even for a special occasion is barbecue to be considered. The engineer has finished his work. The shiny engine has been built and is sitting on the test bench. Have you been using the right type of fuel, says the engineer? What is your answer? His response is, none other will give optimal results. Only the one who has planned and built the engine can know what to prescribe for it to function. Our health depends on the sum total of many small decisions that we make each day. And in general, decisions we make that most often affect our health have to do with the foods we eat. There are so many options, so be kind to your body with the things you can control and avoid foods that block healing. I hope you have gained some knowledge or perhaps be reminded of information you have overlooked. Make a step today and optimize your health. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to you joining us for our next topic, emotions and health. I am Dr. Michelle Hamilton. Have a wonderful day, and in all things, give thanks.